We started off talking about the pastoral staff. So we did those 2 days at the beginning, and you talked about how it's been kept alive through your kind of regular reference to it.
Yeah.
But we did something, I think last year, it was called Team Tuning Workshop. Can you say a bit, again, the reasons for having that and what the impact has been?
So a really important part of our relationship with Achieve Excellence has been that it's become a sustainable relationship. And it has allowed me, as the person largely responsible for kind of crafting the professional development in the school, to really have a lot of kind of thought about what we're doing. And one of the problems with professional development is often that you can bring in a speaker, or you can go to a wonderful event, you can be inspired on the day, you can come away with some great ideas, but sometimes those great ideas can get lost in the general kind of business of the school life. And so again, we had opportunities to talk about how things were progressing in the various things that we were then involved in. And one of the things we discussed was that the pastoral team had received this training a few years ago, been very positive, started to be embedded in kind of the conversations we were having, but actually what would be really useful would be to come back to that on occasions and bring the team back together. And so you came up with the wonderful idea of this kind of team tuning session, which was for a day. So last summer we had the pastoral team all back together. There had been some changes, but largely I think it was mostly the team that had been there in the original sessions. And rather than doing the same thing again, because we felt some of the really key things had kind of fitted into place, we wanted to look at how we were actually working as a team, and were we thinking about the same kind of things? What did we actually want to achieve as a team? What were our long-term goals, our medium, short-term goals? And again, the way in which it was set up and the activities that you put on were incredibly powerful, I think, in terms of giving some thought to that, which again, in a school, we're often, so busy with dealing with the here and now that we don't really have much time to reflect on either what we've done or what we want to do in the future. And the team tuning day definitely gave the pastoral team some space and time to do that. And some of the things that I have up
I recognise
in my office were some of the outcomes of that day. And again, really keen not to just let these things happen for one day and then forget about them. So this is where the pastoral team meet on a weekly basis.
So there's a visual reminder for them.
A visual reminder of the things that they came up with, and a visual reminder for me on a daily basis as well. So.
Yeah. And I remember there's some very powerful presentations that they did around that, wasn't it? Explaining what was behind the images and what they represented for them and how that would help them.
I'd never heard pastoral members of staff talking with such kind of depth about what they do. I think for pastoral staff, often, again, it's dealing with firefighting, it's dealing with behaviour and attendance issues on a day-to-day basis, which can consume you. But I think everybody needs a chance to really sort of lift themselves above that every now and then. So it was so pleasing to hear colleagues talking in the way they were about what it was they do.